No matter what your faith is, we are in the thick of the holiday season, a season of giving. But don't let your guard down, because some people interpret that as the season of taking, even swiping the baby Jesus from your front yard. So we start with a big, scary green guy you've all heard of. And I'm not talking about what you look like the day after the office Christmas party.
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch.
The Grinch who stole Christmas.
Clearance sale. Everything must go.
The presents, the decorations, the tree. But if you believe that no one's that cold-hearted in real life, think twice. Turns out holiday season is stealing season. Check out this brazen bandit swiping a load of presents from the front porch of this house in broad daylight. And why bother buying when you can break in and steal a 10-foot symbol of peace on earth? And to make sure the holiday is about family, this Colorado Grinch brought along his young son. Just this week in Texas, surveillance cameras catch this guy making off with Santa's sled, and Frosty too. Fearing not the naughty list, he goes back, nabbing an inflatable train set, and even the big man himself. And then there's this caper that got a ton of attention in Phoenix. Christians, avert your eyes. Stealing Jesus from a church and into a pickup truck.
Baby Jesus goes missing almost every season.
The Robinson family of Denver waits all year for Jesus to come, only to have him sinfully swept away.
It means a lot to us to have this nativity scene. It's, to keep Christ in Christmas.
So this year, the Robinsons are boosting the omniscience of their godchild in the form of a GPS tracker. In fact, a security company gives out GPS tracking devices free to churches all over the country now, like here in New Jersey. But this kind of theft is penny ante compared to the band of scammers we found who make the Grinch from the movie look like Santa Claus. They steal hundreds of millions of dollars, countless hearts, and even puppies from little kids.
Puppy scams are some of the worst because not only have you lost in your pocket, but your heart's been harmed.
A diabolical international online puppy selling scheme, preying on loving parents like Cole Turner, a Texas firefighter looking for a puppy for his 7-year-old little boy Ty after the beloved dachshund was killed by a coyote. Cole decided to go big this time, a Great Dane.
So maybe it wouldn't be such a appetizing thing to a coyote.
An online breeder sent these photos of a pedigreed Great Dane. Hello, baby Marmaduke. Turner signed a contract with a woman named Elżbieta Murkakova on the spot, wiring her the $600 payment. But on the agreed-to day for delivery, no dog and one broken-hearted boy.
It's kind of like waking up on Christmas morning and Santa Claus not being there almost. I really would like to find out who did this, who took my money, who made my son cry.
We decided to get after these Grinches for the tiny Texans and others like them. Our reporting revealed a vast network of online con artists behind the puppy scams, mostly based out of Nigeria, like these guys shot by ABC News. We decide to lay some bait with the perfect hapless victim, me. We try out one of many suspicious ads on a website offering French bulldog puppies like these for sale.
I'd like the dog as soon as possible because, I have the holidays coming up.
Easy peasy, they tell me. Just wire $700 and the dog would come to the airport of my choice in days.
I'll get the money out today. You'll have it tomorrow morning.
We're told to send the money to Gertrude Marshall of Flint, Michigan. We figured, phony name, right? Wrong. This is Gertrude Marshall. Everything else was phony. Turns out Gertrude was the victim of a scam within a scam. She told us she thought she was just helping her online Nigerian boyfriend Jimmy, cashing and sending him wire transfers for what he said was his electronics company.
I was gullible, I was stupid.
Gertrude was angry, but she was also grateful, so she gave us an early Christmas present, all her account information, so we could track down Jimmy, the man who was scamming her. We had a new plan, Simple genius. I would pose as Gertrude and seduce Jimmy into showing his face. First, I had to get the feel of Gertrude's vibe.
If you need to be me, be sexy, but don't give it all away. Save some for later.
Jimmy. You call him baby or just Jimmy? Honey? Honey. So open the camera, honey.
Shockingly, it wasn't going so well. My moves seemed to lack Gertrude's magic.
I got no game, Gertrude. I got no game. I got nothing on you.
Maybe it was the time difference. You know, it was very early for me most of the time. My wife was looking over my shoulder. Anyway, I switched tactics and go to my strength, threats. We hint that if he doesn't show himself, Gertrude may never cash another wire for Jimmy. Sure enough, Loverboy says he has a surprise for Gertrude. Turns out, this is Jimmy. But he is about to get the real surprise.
Jimmy. Jimmy, why you look so surprised? You running a scam, right, Jimmy, and you got caught?
Jimmy, of course, bails.
Yeah.
But can you believe he almost immediately messages Gertrude asking her to do another wire transfer pickup? No shame in his game, but Gertrude is out of his clutches. Her situation made us think of what happened with Cole Turner, who was furious at the scammer who ripped him off, whom he believes is a woman named Elżbieta.
It really pisses you off. I mean, I'd just soon choke her to death as I had to look at her probably.
Hold on a second, Cole. We suspected Elżbieta may be just like Gertrude. Sure enough, when we found her in New York, she too had no idea about any puppies, and a heart that belonged to a man in Africa who she'd only known online through this one photo.
Have you ever sat with him like this? Face to face?
No, face to face.
She too thought she was just sending business payments to her online lover. But we tracked down the man in Nigeria who was actually receiving the money. Elżbieta had been duped.
What makes you sad?
Because I never ask somebody for money. I never ask somebody for money. Never.
Our reporting freed Elżbieta from her scammer, but not from potential criminal responsibility. And that is when something took over here. Something scammers could never steal. Holiday spirit. When we told Turner about Elżbieta's situation, he decided to close the case and open his heart.
If she was truthfully scammed herself, of course I can forgive her because she didn't know what she was doing. She didn't do it. Her name was used.
And so we end with what this was always supposed to be about. A boy and his doggie. This Christmas, Ty Turner has his coyote-proof pal, Lou, bought from a real breeder. And Dad has a valuable lesson of buyer beware.
That's the way to buy a dog. Face to face, cash in hand. You give me something and I'll give you the money.